Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Wow, thanks, guys, for already being here, man. Let's see, a lot of people. Wow. Happy 6/9/2021, June 9th. Good morning, Ziggy. Good morning, Simon. I'm sorry, I'm reading good morning, Texas Car Dude. Good morning, Brad. Good morning, Simon. Good morning, Costa Rica. Good morning. I think I'm repeating myself here, but good morning, John. Good morning, Michael. Got a lot of cool things to talk about this morning. Also working on a cool video I'm dropping this evening, which I'm really excited about. So first of all, there's my Iron Man shirt, little Iron Man action. Remember classic Iron Man? Remember Iron Man from Ozzy's, Black Sabbath? Well, hope you're doing well. I got a couple things to share with you guys today. So we're going to go over, let's see, what do I have for you? A few articles from Sports Collectors Daily I want to bring to your attention. A few announcements I want to bring to your attention. And a few cool facts I want to bring to your attention. Let's start off with one of the announcements that I find really, really cool. And that is, I got to share the screen. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share screen here. Put you down that dark. I don't know why that happens all the time. Sorry. Boom. There we go. Okay. Real quickly, first announcement of the morning. Hobbypalooza 2021 announcement. This is Mike from Baseball Collector, part of the Bench Clear Media Sports Card Network. That's a new thing. I didn't see the Sports Card Network there. Bench Clear Media Sports Card Network. Just released last night. Last night I was watching the video. Mike last year organized a great event. It was called Hobbypalooza. And what they basically did was they got a bunch of YouTube content creators together to provide just hour after hour after hour of constant content for one of the weekends. Last year was the same weekend that the National was. This year, because the National is going on, they're doing this, I believe it's the weekend of July 10th and 11th. So check your calendars, or, if you want to join, you can actually send Michael an email. If you have a YouTube channel and you'd like to contribute, reach out to him. He's organizing this, him and Ty. It should be good. I did not participate last year as a content creator, but I did participate as a viewer. Really enjoyed it because you got to see so many different content creators and so many different, spins on the hobby. I remember Silver Jackify did a trivia game. It was giving away cards. I remember Cardi C did something. Mike O. And I'll tell you too, what's really cool is you get to meet a whole bunch of content creators that you might not be following. And I know Hobbypalooza really leans more, in my opinion, towards the hobby and the collectors. So you'll hear some really, really good content. In fact, I'm going to bet that Wade Boggs fan will be part of this. I'm a big fan of his channel. And again, Power Collector, those back pages, I'm sure will be part of this. So again, check it out. Hobbypalooza, super excited, 10th and 11th. I will say I would like to participate. I don't know what I would do if I participated, but I would like to. So I did send a message to Mike, or I put a message here saying, hey, be happy to help, or at least spread the word. So that's what I'm doing right now, spreading the word. So let's spread the word. Mark your calendars, the 10th and 11th, July, Hobbypalooza. Next thing I'll share, let's jump into some of the news today. So this is another pretty good announcement. National is on, right? Today, by the way, is the 9th. So if it by some chance weren't going to happen, we'll know by Friday, right? Because the 11th is when they're supposed to open up everything or whatever. But everything looks good right now in Chicago. Here's what's cool is the list of who's going to be signing autographs. And I'd say there's a pretty good list here. My question to those people out there, have any of you done this? Have you gone to these guys to get autographs, to get things autographed, cards, memorabilia, jerseys? What are your thoughts on that? But look at the people here, man. I'm not going to read them all to you, but Chipper Jones, Bagwell, Bench, Ozzie Smith, Sandberg, Felix Hernandez, Larry Walker. Football guests include Barry Sanders. Jim Kelly's actually a really cool one. Lawrence Taylor, Antonio. It's just a really cool list. Bulls players, Kukoc, Chris Chelios from hockey. So it looks like a really, really solid lineup. And look, auto tickets go on sale on Friday as well. So thought I'd bring that to your attention. Love your feedback on the autograph world. If you guys do autographs and if you're going to be going to the show for autographs. I personally have never done that. I've never gone to the show for autographs. I've seen it happening, but it wasn't something I was after or interested in. Maybe I'll give it some consideration this time. The other cool thing that I saw, and this is another, Sports Collectors Daily, is Leaf to push out first package Pro Set product with autographs of current and former greats. Now, this is pretty cool. I remember listening to think it was Hobby Hotline maybe, when Brian Gray was on, it talked about buying the Pro Set from the owner of Pro Set. Long, really cool story on that. I'm not going to bore you, but he did finally buy that, and he's rolling out this autograph set. Now, I'm going to let you take a peek at some of these cards. As I look down here, the checklist, or what should I say, the names of the people giving autographs seems stacked. I mean, really, you got Peyton Manning. And remember, Pro Set is not a licensed product, so you're not going to see NFL logos, right? But that's a damn good-looking card. I mean, clearly that's, Peyton Manning in the Colts uniform. And you got Griffey. I love how they do this, but you can't see any of the logos and stuff, but you got Griffey there. Stephen Curry. Isn't that great, too? You can't see the Warriors sign. They airbrush that stuff out. But his autograph's in there. Joe Montana. Are you serious? I mean, look at this list. It's just loaded. It's just loaded. In fact, the more I think about this, I'm like, well, who are the poop autographs? Because in every product, they got the Chase autographs, and then got who's that guy that signs all the time? Bob Lilly. I'm not picking on Bob Lilly from from Dallas, but Bob Lilly signs a lot of stuff. You're like, man, it's a Texas. Oh, it's Bob Lilly. Okay. So I wonder what the bad autographs will be. Last thing I'll show you real quickly. Release date is due for September 29th. So what's that, about 3, 4, 5 months away? It's a 9 to this is 3 months away. And costs around $200 to $250 a box. There are 2 cards per box. I believe both have autographs. That isn't bad, especially with this checklist. I'm actually surprised. Now, here's what I want to know. It is June 9th right now. Will those boxes really go out to the public at $200 and $225 a box? Or will they go to distribution at that price? And we'll see them around 5 or so. We'll have to keep an eye out and see what happens there. But I do love catching the scoop on that. Other thing here, I didn't really read in the shop talk here, so I'm not going to go over this, but you might want to check this out. From yesterday, looks like something happened to this young man, and I have not read this yet, so let me pull out of this one. I was not ready for this. Woke up a little late this morning, but interesting article. Okay, I thought this was cool on the Panini site. This is actually 2 days ago. They talk about the rookie premiere. You aren't familiar with that. It sounds like a pretty awesome event. It's not an open event, but it's where they get all the football rookies together and get their autographs. All I think back is, did they have a rookie premiere in 2001 when Tom Brady was a young, 6th round draft pick? Was he even invited to the rookie premiere? He must have been, right? Well, if they had one, because he has autographs. But can you imagine, somebody in this group right here, some random autograph could be worth millions in the future, right? That's kind of what's cool about this. Now, a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of players. I mean, there's the list, right? Some of the big names. Where the hell is that coming from? No one wants to talk about Prilosec. Okay, let me just pop on a few more things, and then I'm going to switch back to the chat and talk. Is this what I want to do next? Aha. Oh, speaking of national, let me ask you this. Does anybody know? Let me go out of this and get back to my chat here for a second. Before I go, I'm buying a case of this. Good morning, Tom. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Man, what a great group, guys. Really. Yep. Iron Man, Black Sabbath. There is a. Yep. I'm pretty excited about the show. I'm buying a case of this. I know the Pro Set looks fun. Okay, let me ask you a question. What is the record for attendance at the National Sports Card Conference? Anybody know the record? And I'll even give you bonus points. In fact, if you guess the answer, I'll give you a spot in the break. And if you know the year, you get a spot in the break. So anybody know the record for the National and the year of the National broke the record? He is one of the best, man. I'm sorry. I'm not picking on Bob Lilly, okay? But he signs everything. Any ideas, any guesses, thoughts? I will tell you this. So there's a lot of expectation this year that this will be the biggest national ever. I wonder, right? So here's my thought to you. And again, I'm just wondering. So the record, because I haven't seen it in the chat yet, is 100,000 attendees. 100,000 attendees attended Anaheim, California in 1991. That was the record. That was the height of the hobby, at least as far as attendance in the national. Now, many believe that this year would blow that away, or last year would blow that away. But will it? Will it? I'm still wondering, right? And the one I want to share with you in a moment is some of the list of some of those records that have been set. Let me check here, make sure I have this going right, and then I'll switch over. I will say I am filling up that break. We're going to do the break on Sunday night. So I'm going to start picking some random people and putting the names in there. And I'll do some more contests this week. So really appreciate the people who are in my show every morning. And again, we're going to do the Donruss basketball break. Hopefully will this be this weekend. I believe Sunday night. I got to just catch it with Matt. It's more complicated than I thought it would be, to be honest with you. Over 64,000 tickets were sold for that event. Will that event being this event? Let me go ahead and pop into, where is it? What do I do here? Share screen. Here we go. So hey, Wikipedia, man, that's where you get all the answers for everything, right? So I went to Wikipedia last night. I put in the national, and here's some cool things I found. The first national was in 1980 in Los Angeles. Look at this. Detroit had it, St. Louis, Chicago, New Jersey, Anaheim, Dallas, Fort Worth back in 86, back in Michael Jordan's rookie year. San Francisco, Moscone Center. I've been there, not for the national, but I've been there for other conferences. Atlantic City in 88. Chicago, Dallas, Anaheim, Georgia. Now, I want to point out that what's interesting, there are a lot of places they used to choose back in the day. Part of that was, I think, size. It was easy to move around back in the day. Anaheim, look at this right there, 1991, over 100,000 attended, NSCC record. And Dallas was the first to hold two nationals. Then you move forward, you got Texas, St. Louis. St. Louis would be a good place, I think, actually. I don't know anybody who knows St. Louis, but I think it's relatively central. Cleveland, Chicago, Atlanta in 99. 25,000 attendees in 1999. So that was the lowest attended since the 80s. That's kind of interesting to know too. And then you have, as we grow. First 3-time host was Cleveland, Ohio. First 6-time host was Chicago. And I'll say I went to this one, Atlantic City, in 2016. Third highest attendance is over 43,000, and that is Cleveland in 2014. Approximately 45,000 in 2018. I don't see numbers on the 2019 national, and the 20 was canceled. And then you see where we are today. So just some interesting stats there. First of all, I also like they show you too where they are. Like I think they're only using these two locations right now moving forward. I don't know what happened in 24 and 25, but I know they got down to using Cleveland, but then Cleveland, originally scheduled for Cleveland, but the Cleveland Conference Center or whatever is closed or rebuilt or something happened to it where it's not there anymore. It's not available. So it's going to be Chicago, Atlantic City. And I'll be honest, I don't like Atlantic City as a place to go for the national. And Atlantic City is even closer for me. But what most people will talk about is that you really can't fly directly into Atlantic City. You fly into like Philly or someplace and you drive several hours to Atlantic City, which is just completely annoying to me. I mean, even for me, I live in D.C. I'm not going to fly there, but it's a drive and it's a long drive. So I think the drive to Atlantic City might be just as long as the drive to Chicago from Washington, D.C., if I'm not mistaken. But I did want to put that on your agenda, share a little information there about who's going to be getting autographs, and talk a little about who, will the national break record. So the question will be, will the national sell over 100,000 attendees this year? I don't know. My gut says yeah. My mind says no. My heart says yes. My mind says no. That's what it is. My heart as a hobbyist thinking, yeah, we're going to crush this record. My mind's going, I don't know. We'll see. Another quick thing I wanted to bring your attention to. So there was a good video this morning from Dustin on Personal Finance Dad. Talked about fake slabs being a threat to the hobby. Now, I'm really excited Dustin brought that up and did a very good video on it. I will just say this. This is not new news, right? It's just new news to you or to me if you're new to the hobby, I guess. But let me go over here to Extreme Card Breaks. Put out another video yesterday about a seller recently sold a fake slab. Now, I'll let you listen to this video to get all the details, but here's the things that are interesting. He's able to show you why the slab's fake. He actually, I think somebody, not him, but somebody else tracked down the person who sold it. And the person who sold it said that they bought it from somebody in a Facebook group and they were unaware. And I want to point out that's one of the biggest challenges we have in the fake slab world. In fact, last night, one of the chats, when the guy said, hey, man, I got a fake Giannis slab. Should I crack it or what do I do? And my first thought was, well, how do you know it's fake? What makes you think it's fake before you crack it, right? And you know the card's fake. What's the history? So when it comes to fakes, my first concern is that when a fake shows up, it often stays in circulation because the person who bought it's like, well, what do I do? Now, whether they know it or not, they often will move it on to somebody else. So you'll hear that story, well, I didn't know it was fake. I just bought it from a friend on Facebook. It was a good deal, and I sold it on eBay. Well, the problem is that these fakes continue to stick around, and I don't know what the answer is. There needs to be a way to pull fakes out and destroy them. And where I'm getting on this is that I cannot see a way that the government is not going to get into regulating sports cards if we stay where we are today with the activity and the expense and the money that's in this hobby. Now, if we slip back down to like the 1990s again, or 2000s, early 2000s in popularity, and it might just go low under the radar again, it won't be a big deal. But if you look at where we are with cards and the valuations and these hundreds of thousands of dollars and the taxes being collected, and the fact that faking or counterfeiting a slab is just as much as counterfeiting money in many ways, right? As far as its impact. If I make fake money, I can steal from people, right? If I make fake slabs, I can steal money from people, right? The big difference is there are laws around currency. I mean, there are just hardcore laws around global currency, right? Whether it's made here in Mexico, or I'm sorry, here in Mexico, it's made here in the US, or it's made in Mexico, currency has laws, regulations. There's punishment for that, right? In fact, I believe the Secret Service focuses on counterfeits in the United States. It's their goal to keep counterfeits away. Now, if I'm a counterfeiter, is it easier to counterfeit a $100 bill or counterfeit a couple $1,000 cards? It's probably the cards, and that's why we're going to continue to see fakes in this hobby. Now, what I want to bring your attention to, besides this great video from Extreme Card Breaks, is I was thinking about, somebody mentioned this the other day. I'm over here on, what is this website called? This is PCGS. This is basically PSA's coin grading. Okay, and somebody made some interesting comments to me. They pointed out, and again, I just hit this website this morning. Right, if you go to their they have a registry, a pop report, and you go to the pop report, you can pick currency and dollars and stuff like that. And I honestly don't know what the hell I'm looking at right here, right? Some busted half cent. I don't even know what that is. But what I do know is look at the details that they're giving you. Designation, right? To show you some stuff, some more details. What other stuff did I see in here? Someone told me that they give specific details on the coin as well. And again, I haven't dug into this enough, but what I will tell you is that Collectors Universe does run basically two different companies. They run the coin business and they run the card business. And I'm going to assume there are a lot more legal requirements for the way they grade and report coins, right? For example, if they find a fake coin, that's actually a crime. I'm sure they probably inform, Secret Service. If they find a fake card, they report it to you. You see the difference here? And I mention that because I really think PSA, Collectors Universe, or these grading companies might be able to help us bring this attention to the government or to regulators or to law enforcement, right? I just, I agree with Dustin, and I agree with a lot of other people. Breakout Cards does great videos on fakes, right? Extreme Sports is showing you all the fraud going on. Let me pop out here and get back to my screen so I can see you guys. My point here is I do think that we need to we need more regulation in this hobby. I hate to say that. I'm not a regulator. I'm more of a libertarian free market person, but first of all, it's not a free market, right? We got a lot of problems in this market. If you want to talk about free market, a true free market would have open competition. We don't have that. A free market would have a transparent distribution. We don't have that. A free market would have penalties. Well, not penalties, but have some type of rules around the crap going on, or at least you'd be able to oust persons for doing this stuff. But right now, it's kind of the wild, wild west. And that is concerning to me. Okay, so let me take a second, breathe, and check out some of my comments. Okay, over 60. Okay, sorry, 2019, 86 National was a blast. Were you there? You weren't there. Philly Airport is not my favorite airport. I agree. It's not my favorite airport either. Which reminds me, Philly Sports Card Show this weekend. Fake slabs. So the Chicago National, I've never been to the National in Chicago for the National, but I've been to the conference area for other conferences there, and it is a good location. I agree with that. I mean, first of all, you can fly in right to the airport. You don't need a rental car. There's hotels in the area. It's not in Chicago. It's outside. It's in the suburbs. It's kind of like the equivalent of like Dulles is to DC. If you've flown into Dulles, it's pretty far away. Well, actually, Dulles is probably further away than O'Hare is to Chicago. So it's probably not a good example. But my point is, it's not a bad place to have the conference. Good morning, Rob. Good morning. More transparency. I agree. It was in Texas. It was the only one I've attended. Really, dude, that's awesome. I assume you had to be a young chap back then, right? Boy, the memories, man, the memories. There will always be fakes, just the nature of anything. I agree. And that's a very good true point, Matthew. That's a very true point. That's a very good point, right? If we had regulation, it doesn't mean that everything becomes safe the next day. But what I think it does do is I think it adds some deterrent and it gives some teeth, right, to punishment in the hobby. I think I heard somebody talk about the only person that I've heard that went to jail for fraud in the hobby, and I'm very likely I'm wrong on this. I'm sure there's somebody who will correct me, but I think was the gentleman who admitted to trimming the Honus Wagner. I think was sentenced to 2 years, but he ended up doing probation or something like that. But there's a bigger deal in that whole thing. So, but great point, Matthew. You're right. I went with my dad and my brother. That's awesome, dude. That is freaking awesome. It really is. And I've said that's the one thing. Going to the National, I'm hoping to take two of my sons with me, and I'm just looking forward to the memories, right? You know, my son will be, hey, Dad, I remember going to Chicago. The first one went to Chicago was with my dad who went to a card show because my kids have never been to Chicago. Real quickly, I will say I'm dropping this video later today that I've been working on for quite some time. I've been kind of reflecting. Like I said, my 1 year anniversary of my YouTube channel was in mid-May. And many people have had their 1 year anniversary. A few are coming up on their 1 year anniversary. There's a lot of new ones that have been out in the last year as well. But I put together a video I'm dropping tonight, which looks at, which goes back to the first YouTube channels I was tracking last year. And I tracked, I think, about 30 of them in the beginning by June. I think by the end of the summer, I had over 200 YouTube channels that I was tracking. What I meant by tracking was I was watching their content, and if they had good content, I would report on or share or promote the channels. Many of you probably know that already. I mean, I've been promoting lots of channels for a long time. That's one thing I love doing is basically if there's good information out there, I don't need to tell you about it, but I want you to know where it is and who it is that gave it to you, right? So if you want to hear about the fakes, I tell you to go talk to Breakout Sports Cards because they do great information on fakes. I think they're working on the Dan Marino fake cards and fake slabs next. So anyway, I'm coming out with this video tonight, and the question I'll ask you right now, and we'll answer later in the videos, who is the fastest growing YouTube content creator in the last 12 months? What channel has had the most growth? And I'm talking about growth in percentage of growth over their subscribers last year versus subscribers this year. It is not me. I'm nowhere near that. I know I hide my subscribers, but it's I'm curious if you know who it is, guys. Oh, that's right. Let me just mention that, Matthew. That's a good point. There is a big show in New York this weekend in Long Island. I want to say a friend of mine's going there. Queens. Pardon me. You got, and let me clarify. That's not this weekend. It's in August 21st and 22nd. This weekend is Philly. August is New York, and we'll definitely be promoting that as we get closer to that. It's not me. Hello, no. Flipping Steve's a damn good guess, Matthew. It is a damn good guess, but it's not Flipping Steve. It's not Flipping Steve. And he's a great, in fact, I'll give you a little tip. When I started following Flipping Steve last year, and it was around the beginning of June, I believe, or end of May, he had 82 subscribers. Okay. Today he has 4,000 subscribers, or over 4,000. So again, that's a good example of taking his subscribers last year, subscribers this year, and figuring out the percentage of growth. Flipping Steve is in the top 10. Very good guess. Sports Card Investor, no. In fact, Sports Card Investor doesn't even make the top 10 in percentage of growth. Now, in total subscribers overall, he's in the top 10, but he's not number one on subscribers. His channel grew from roughly, I think, 25,000 to around 90,000, maybe 30,000, 90,000. So 3x growth. Very, very good. Let's see here. I would agree, John. It's not him, though. It's not. Another one that's not, by the way, it's not Pac-Man, right? And Pac-Man's had some amazing growth. I think Pac-Man went from like 50 to like 120,000. Brad is in the top 10. It's not Brad. Dustin's in the top 10. It's not Dustin. Anyway, you'll see tonight. I don't want to give it away because as soon as you know, you're like, of course it is. Makes sense, right? PSA Sports Card Collector. Nope. In fact, he's not even in the top 10, and he's had some growth, but not the growth that you would expect. In fact, here's one that I do mention that I think is interesting, who's not in the top 10 as well, is KB Legends. You guys all follow KB Legends, don't you? You guys know KB Legends, right? You're like, who the hell's KB Legends, Ziggy? KB Legends is the current Sports Card Invest channel, which I absolutely loathe. Because I tell you, I just think it's just, I mean, come on, it's so shady for him to use Sports Card Invest with the same blue logo as Sports Card Investor uses. KB Legends, by the way, was a video game site this time last year. He was doing video games at home, right? And I think he's like 18, 19. He's a teenage kid, maybe 20. I don't know. And then Sports Cards came out, and he flipped his channel to Sports Cards, and he later changed his name to Sports Card Invest. He's been called out on IG for creating fake accounts. He sells subscriptions. I'm just not a fan at all. Neo's a good one. You know, it's funny. I didn't follow Neo this early on. So as you'll see, and I'll do some more updates as we go through the summer. And I think I'll tell you another thing I really love about my channel personally. If you are interested, if you look back, I have content every day for like last year. So if you go back to any of those days, most of them are going to give you kind of a snapshot of what was going on that day. And you'll even see when I started following groups like Neo. I have not seen Neo's growth, but it actually is a really strong growth when you think about it, because he's at 9,000. And I want to say when I started following him, he was in the hundreds. So he might be one of the faster growing ones as I move the year. But right now, in the last 12 months, it's not Neo. Soccer is a good guess. There's a soccer channel in the top 10. One of my favorites, and that's Vincent from Card Hour. Card Hour is a great channel. If you're into soccer, I really recommend Card Hour. You know, here's what a cool thing I loved about this video. I loved going down memory lane, looking back at a year, and I also love looking at the channels that have gone up and the channels that have kind of disappeared. On this video tonight, I talked about a few channels that have kind of gone quiet, right? As an example, one of the ones that is in the top 10 is the Hobby Box, right, with Boris. Although he's kind of gone quiet in the last week. We'll see where he goes. Another one that's gone quiet is High Upside has gone quiet. There's a couple kid channels that have gone quiet. But I'm excited. Ziggy, did Ian from block you? I went to look comments. The repacking is going. I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did. I think Up North Collector blocked me as well. And I'll just say, it really just bothers me, guys. I like both those channels. I really do. But I'll just say this, there's no way they don't know what they're doing. Okay? They know they're supporting a freaking repack company, right? They know what they're doing, man. Oh, it just bothers me. And, I'll say this. When I talk about, what's that guy's name? The KB Legends. Okay. KB Legends, I give the benefit of the doubt that he really is like a teenager. I think he might be between 16 and 20. I don't know. He's a kid. Okay, so where's his, experience ethical monitor in life or barometer for life? I don't know. But for Ian and for Up North Collector, you're both adults. You know the hobby and you know the dangers of repacks. And again, what I'll even call out more is it's not a repack that's even legit. It's a freaking repack that has no checklist and keeps dropping prices. It's just an evil company, man. I cannot stand it. Oh, you can tell I'm getting angry over it. But yeah, if I still go to the website, Up North Collectors is there. Shy City Polls is there. And again, I don't know Shy City Polls. Again, breakers have, some breakers will break anything, right? But it does bother me. Card Hour is very good. Thanks, John. I'm a big fan of Card Hour. And there's some really good European YouTube channels that I've been following. If you have any recommendations, John, please let me know. Baseball Card Collector, Investor, Dealer. Okay, good guess, Simon. Good guess. Great channel. Really love that channel. One of my favorites. If you guys haven't followed, who's not following Baseball Card Collector, Investor, Dealer? My guy, AC, at Fantasy Football Card Quest is putting out fire. He is, man. I have to say, I'm a huge fan of Andy. If you're not following him, what I love about Andy is he's a friend of Brad's, right? So you can see Brad was doing his channel, and he's like, hey, I'll do this too. And then Andy's like, I'm going to focus on football. And when he came to the hobby, he was a fantasy guy. So he put in the Fantasy Football Card Quest, and he's really evolved into a sports card guy. And another thing I really love about his channel is that I teased him in the offseason. I'm like, well, what the hell are you going to do for the next 6 months? It's like, I'm going to put out more content. He's done that. He's continued to stay focused on football and putting out great content. I really enjoy that. Big fan of his channel. Just a good guy. Look forward to meeting him someday in person as well. Okay, guys. Well, it's about 29 minutes. Don't like to go too long. Really appreciate you guys being here this morning. It means the world to me to wake up. It's like I get out of bed, go, man, I got to do my channel, man. I got to get out and say hi to everybody. I will say next week's going to be a crazy week. I'm doing some local traveling. Next weekend, a week from this weekend, I'm doing a camp with the boys we will see. I'm hoping to be able to do these videos every day. I might have to change the times, maybe be a little earlier, a little later, but it is Sports Cards Daily, so we will have daily content. Again, guys, check out the video dropping later this afternoon. Today is Wednesday. It's release day for a few products as well. Have a happy June 9th, 2021. Guys, thank you all. Stay healthy, stay safe, and treat people the way you want to be treated in life.